Greetings, family. Welcome to Pan-Africanism towards nationhood. And this is Bomani Interview, and I'm here with my good brother, Newon Sei Dunbar, in Liberia. And tonight, we're here to talk about Liberia, a vision of Pan-Africanism towards nationhood. Yes, my good brother, how you feeling today? Thank you for being flexible to join us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bomani. I'm in good health and I'm grateful to God.
Yes, man. So how's it going in beautiful Liberia?
Oh, it's beautiful. We've got great weather. It's the rainy season, but for the past week we haven't had much rain as a distraction. We've just had cool air and nice atmosphere, good temperature, very breezy and cool, and people can move about their activities without getting fatigued early in the day. So yeah, we're having a good time. It's Liberia,
Yes, the last time we was
the
in
place to
Liberia.
be.
Absolutely, and family, we had a beautiful journey, April 2024, and this is us promoting the energy and encouraging more people to visit our beautiful historical country of Liberia. And we're going to get into many details about why Liberia is so important and share our details from our previous journey and also our upcoming journey. Uh, so yes, my brother, let's start off with a great introduction of yourself and especially your Liberia background and the vision that you see for Liberia.
I'm Newon Sei Dunbar. Um, I'm an ambassador for tourism in the Republic of Liberia. I promote tourism and culture and heritage. I'm a visionary for Liberia, and I get my inspiration from the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, especially its original text of 1847. There's a lot of vision embedded in that constitution. There's expression of Liberia's identity in that constitution. Speaking of identity, I'm of African American descent and indigenous Liberian descent. My paternal lineage is African American and my maternal lineage is of indigenous Liberian descent. So my mother is from up north, Nimba County. And as I said, my paternal lineage is African American. Thank you.
Yes, brother, appreciate the introduction. And so, family, we have a brother that's serious and dedicated to Liberia. And our goal and energy is to encourage tourism, which leads to investments, which leads to nation building, which leads to a whole lot of great, wonderful things. So we have to start somewhere, and starting somewhere we mean by us coming to the country from America to Liberia. And we're going to get into that historical connection of Black America and Liberia. So, brother, what I want to do is I want to do some screen sharing while we talk.
Yes.
All right, so family, this is our beautiful Liberia flyer. And this is set for a Liberia Roots and Culture Tour, February 12th to the 23rd, 2026. And what you see down here is our group photo right there at the First President Monument. And underneath it, the coat of arms. So, brother, if you can kind of share with us the details and the photo that we took on our group photo, and then also the coat of arms, and just break down the historical significance of both of them.
Okay, the monument, that is the monument of the first president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Jenkins Roberts. He was from Virginia, I believe, in the United States. And he settled in Liberia as a pioneer and a visionary leader of the Republic. He served and contributed, he sacrificed, and as a result of his sacrifice, he became the first president of the Republic of Liberia. The carvings on the monument beneath his statue is actually representative of the narrative of the meeting of the indigenous and the repatriate nationals, African Americans that came. And I'd just like to make a quick note. It is often said of the pioneers, settlers, or returnees who came that they are referenced as being freed slaves. I would like to say that is totally wrong and a distortion of our great heritage, because they were freed men. For the most part, they were free men. Other versions use the word free in the past tense and say they were freed. No, they were not freed in the past tense sense, because they were never enslaved in the first place. The majority of the presidents that came from the settlers, the pioneers that came from the United States and other parts of the Caribbean and became president in Liberia were men who were actually born free. And to label them as, or term them as freed slave, is a distortion, and it's wrong, and it's a falsehood. And even the word freed slaves is an oxymoron. You cannot be free and a slave at the same time. So why put the two words together? That just provides distortion and propaganda for a limited vision or perspective of the ancestors and their identity. This country was never colonized, so it is important to note that these ancestors were free men and women and youth that came. They were not slaves.
But I always appreciate your breakdown, because we do have to break things down and explain it to our people, so we can educate them properly, so we don't carry on derogatory narratives that makes no sense. So that's what we are also to do, family, clear up a lot of things that's not been clear. So my brother, let's go down to the coat of arms. The love of liberty brought us here. I love the slogan. I love the vision of that. And then I see this incredible pictorial view, and under it say the Republic of Liberia. Can you break down what we're looking at right now?
I love the narrative too. However, in a holistic society, some believe that it has its shortcomings. I've spoken with individuals who believe it has its shortcomings, because it says of the love of liberty that it brought us here. That speaks volume to the experience of the African American component of our population in particular. Now, there are other individuals who believe that the ancestors comprise of not only the African American group, but also the indigenous group. And the indigenous group claim that they were already here. So the term, the love of liberty brought us here, they said is not applicable to them because they were already here enjoying liberty. So it's a beautiful story, but yeah, the love of liberty brought us here is to say that free men and women in America, by God's providence, were able to traverse the Atlantic Ocean and return to the coast of Africa, precisely the territory now today we call Liberia, the Republic of Liberia, okay? And they, as visionaries, were able to found the first Pan-African Republic in Africa, all right? These ancestors, when you read the Constitution, to mention the identity of, or describe the identity of the Liberian people as a nationhood, the term Liberian was not even used. The Constitution basically says that Liberia was established for and by people of African descent. So that is our identity, people of African descent, irrespective of place of birth and what have you. So Liberia as a nationhood represents the entire global African community. So you can say Liberia is the country of origin for the global Pan-African Intercontinental Constituency, and not just limited to the 5 million population of the Liberia Republic itself, but rather the global African is welcome to Liberia. Only Africans have exclusive rights to become citizen of the Republic of Liberia, and only such people have exclusive rights to land ownership and public office in Liberia.
That is exceptionally special for us as a people. And that's why I love this great nation, because you're talking about a nation that was built by us as a people for us. So
Yes, this is the original FUBU, for us, by us.
there you go. Appreciate it. So family, I'm gonna just go through this flyer details, and then we'll move on to some more details, and we just keep on going. All right. So this journey of a lifetime, join us for a real cultural experience on an incredible tour of Liberia. Includes Monrovia, Robertsport, Buchanan, Marshall, uh, Paynesville, and don't miss out on this opportunity to reconnect with our people and land to enjoy paradise in the tropics. This is a perfect getaway, which includes networking with our group, learning about the roots, culture, repatriation, investment opportunities, and more. And so we have a full tour package that includes flights to Monrovia on Ethiopian Airlines, business and investment conference and networking, which I'll show the flyer in a few, transportation and tours in Liberia, daily continental breakfast and dinner. And then we have these incredible four-star hotel and resorts in Liberia, and mainly our resorts. Liberia have the most incredible coastal line you'll ever see in your life, outside of what you may see on as when you go to an island, which is naturally just all coastline since it's an island. That is one of the profound part of our journey, because we want you to enjoy paradise. We want you to enjoy the best of the country. A lot of networking and social gathering, entrance and access to all sites and activities. And then we have English speaking tour guides. Liberia is an English speaking nation. And then this is all of our contact details. And we have information about Liberia on our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok page. And so now I'm going to switch over to, and this is one of your connections here, Boulevard Palace Hotel, which we're looking to host our business and investment conference. And this will be our second business and investment conference. Uh, so this is set for Friday, February 20th, 2026 at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Boulevard Palace Hotel in beautiful Sincor, Liberia. And so what we're going to be doing is promoting trade and investment in Liberia. And this is our good brother, Kala, that brought our energy together. So that's his logo. And then we have this beautiful artwork. So yes, brother, are you ready for this? Because last time you're the one that literally put together our business conference, and appreciate the energy while we were coming from Robertsport, making our way back. You're setting things up. So definitely looking forward to working with you on this one. Share with us anything that you may find interesting for us to having the business conference now at Boulevard Palace, and why that place, Boulevard Palace, is so special.
Well, Boulevard Palace have been noted for hosting serious seminars and business forums. So it's an ideal location. It's in the center of the city. Easy access to many more hotels and restaurants and shops for shopping, easy shopping, so many stores or supermarkets. It's actually a commercial center of Monrovia City. So Sencor is an ideal place for such a forum to give people access to come to the forum.
Yes, family. So we're looking forward to it, and we're going to be organizing great presenters to give you all the dynamic information as far as all the updates on Liberia and the future of Liberia pertaining to trade, investment, promoting Liberia, and just us reconnecting as a people to determine what we want to do together to build a future and create opportunities for our diaspora to reconnect to Liberia. So definitely looking forward to this, family. And then as usual, whenever we do any kind of business conference in Africa or any tours in Africa, we always document everything as best as possible. And it's usually documented to its fullness. So on that note, just want to move on to some other documentation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to flip over to our previous Liberia journey, and this included Morocco, because we took Royal Air Maroc as the flight to connect to Liberia. But since we had a long layover, we just decided to add add a few days of Morocco in the journey, but it was primarily all Liberia. And so on our YouTube page, as soon as you get on our YouTube page, you'll see a list of all of our previous Africa tours, and then they're in order. So you'll see Liberia, and this will be, once you click on the link, you'll get access to all of these videos. And what I'm doing is just gonna scroll down. We document information from the beginning of our journey all the way to the end. And so this has 117 videos, and at least over 90 of them is Liberia. And some of these videos are also videos with a family that I visited right there after in New York City. But scrolling past that, that's our these are our first few days as we stayed at Labasa Resort. And that was brother, that was a great just entrance in the country. Literally. I didn't it was just so it was a perfect Echo Lodge getaway. Yeah. And just like when we go to Robertsport next, they have another resort, Warkor Lodge. So looking forward to that. And we want to give you that echo feeling. As Liberia is just beautiful nature and beautiful beachfront.
That's what you get in Liberia. It's literally the Pan-African paradise. Yes, we are the Pan-African capital of the world, but the underdevelopment also is a positive note because it gives us the reflection or of this the similitude to a place that is paradise. We have over 8 waterfalls, and that's why even at the national level, with the current Liberia tourism marketing and branding strategy, the key niche or the catalyst niche is ecotourism. It's not our global heritage as the Pan-African capital. Instead, it's ecotourism because of our natural assets. We have over several thousand, several stretch expanse of coastline. The coastline runs all the way from the Robertsports in Grand Kipmar County all the way to the west to Maryland County. It's amazing. You have nothing but coastline, beautiful coastline. Then you have the mountainous, beautiful mountainous regions with some lake and water features within the mountains. The mountains here usually some have water at the top of it. It's amazing. It's just really unique attractions. There's another Eco Lodge up north in Nimba County called the Nimba Eco Lodge, and it has it's a journey of within the territory of the East Nimba Nature Reserve. So Liberia is a nature paradise. Okay, you have the national park in Sino County called the Sapo National Park. It's a very brilliant place to get away if you want a sense of being maybe in the rainforest, say the Amazon. You don't have to go there if you're already planning a trip to Africa, Liberia. Your experience at the Sapo National Park would be as good as if you had gone to the Amazon. So Liberia has all of the attractions in one country. And not to add the greatest asset, the people ourselves. As in Liberia, some of us believe that when it comes to the natural resource and natural resource management, our greatest assets are not the cocoa, the diamond, the gold, and the cash crops and what have you. It's actually the people. We are the greatest natural resource the country has to offer. Very resilient people, very friendly people, have been through a lot, but also are on our feet looking forward to a lot. So we're very strong and very friendly, very open people. This is one country that any foreigner can come to and instantly feel at home. We open our doors and we open our arms. We even open our homes to foreigners. We share our lunches with them, and we share our family experiences with them. A very hospitable nation.
Yes, brother. Appreciate energy and family. This is what we just sharing with you. This that incredible connection and this that Liberia is ready and open for you to return and reconnect. And so that is our YouTube page, a playlist of all of our Liberia video highlights. I like to show people our visuals of what we do and showing people our experience that this is what we do as a people and this is real. So you can click on the link and check out videos, scroll through it, and you'll see just a whole lot of this incredible energy. And as we talk about the first president monument, these are some of the videos here. I'm going to scroll over to some more of our social pages and we're going to get into some more information. So here we are. This is our Liberia Facebook page. So we've shared videos and photos on this page and also on my personal page. And then the last set of our presentations I've done right here this is primarily Liberia. This is our TikTok. So that's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and then Instagram is just a mix of other things. And I'm gonna flip over to the next thing that I definitely want people to be clear on. Once you're on our website, you just click on the Liberia Roots and Culture Tour link for February 2026, and you'll see the full detail of our overview, itinerary, general terms, visa details, and then other things that's recommended that you improve your immune system and just get ready, and then preparation and reminder list. So those are the things we usually go over when we do conference calls or when we just talk to individuals that are open to the journey. And then I want to share some photo highlights. All right. So this is our Liberia, Morocco, April 2024 photo gallery. I'm just gonna scroll down just to certain things. And this is not necessarily a public link, but this is a link that we share on our group page, our Facebook page, and it's also a link where we post on the newsletters that when we send out for Liberia, which is this access to all videos and all photos that we take. And similar to the videos, this is just us and our group socializing and just sharing our experience. Yes, we do take a lot of pictures and videos because we're always so excited and happy for that reconnection into Africa to where we want to share with you all of our experience. And this is our historical arrival. And so for those who are interested in these details, this information can always be shared with you and it will be definitely shared with you on a newsletter where you just have access to the itinerary and access to the links from the website and then links to all of the social and group page and basically everything that we're sharing here today. And yes, brother, I'm sure you're happy to see a fresh group of people. I'm sure you're always happy to see groups of people from the diaspora coming to Liberia. And let us know how special you feel when you see your brothers from the African diaspora that's coming to Liberia and experience it while us
Oh, it's
videos.
awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's the experience of the victory story, the African or the Pan-African glory story, the story that's given to us by the providence of God, where God took a whole race of people out of bondage and gave them their own sovereignty. It's only once or twice that God has done that in the history of the world. Liberia has a heritage comparable to that of Israel when it comes to that light, because there are people who were deprived of their basic human and civil liberties and what have you. And having crossed the Atlantic and returned to the motherland, they had their human rights and dignity restored to them through the Republic of Liberia, through the founding of the Republic of Liberia. So Liberia represents the African glory story. It's the victory story of Africa. Okay, and this story necessitated the walk or the journey to independence for most of the African continent. And it is not to be taken for granted. it is something we should embrace as a continental heritage. And as a matter of fact, when you look at the era in which Liberia was founded and you look at the prevalence of institutions that are detrimental to the human advancement, such as slavery and the transatlantic slave trade and colonialism and apartheid, you'll see that Liberia was founded during a very dark period as the light that God gave to the African community globally to come out of bondage and servitude and take our rightful place in the global society. So Liberia is that victory story and that glory story. So every time to see African Americans or Afro-Caribbeans and Afro-Europeans return to Liberia, it's for me a repeat of that victory story and that glory story all over again. So it's a really great experience to have African Americans and the rest of the African community in the diaspora return to Liberia and experience their heritage and their legacy and their vision for the globe through the lens of Liberia.
Yes, brother, as I'm scrolling through, we're at a perfect point where you share some great breakdown of Joseph J. Roberts' monument, the first president of Liberia. And this is us in detail and family, just like I'm showing you the pictures. We did incredible videos where you can just check it out and just get the fullness of it. But here we are. This is the part where this is where Collagenesis was breaking down the pictorial of when when I look at this originally, I can't really break down what I'm looking at other than it look like uh, our people connecting from from Black America or the African diaspora to Liberia and building a partnership. That's what it looked like to me, but you can break it down a lot more and explain it again in details what we're looking at here. I think that right here gives you a good scope of it. I'm trying to find a picture where it shows from left to right. But if you can break down what we're looking at here, right under the bottom of the actual monument. All right, buddy, stay with us. And yes, family, I'm waiting for our brother to connect back on so we can share the breakdown of the monument. Yes, my good brother. Let's connect back to the breakdown and I know you have this
Yes,
incredible breakdown. Here you go, brother.
the key thing about this monument is the memorialization of the Joseph Jenkins Roberts, the first president of Liberia. And then I think the other key thing to note is the meeting, the reflection or the portrayal of the meeting between the African American group and the indigenous group. That convergence is showcased at the bottom of the monument in black, as you can see. I think that's what Carla was pointing to in the picture, that part of the monument. So the
Yeah.
monument shows how the two African groups, those that came from the diaspora and the indigenous group that was on the ground, how they converged and met and unified. So it's a very good monument.
Yes, family, and this was one of our incredible highlights. So, family, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch over to talk about some in detail writings of what our brother put together. Yeah, this is incredible. This is one of the incredible highlights. So that's us right there, family, live. And this is the beautiful Liberian colored T-shirt that we put together, with a vibrant energy. All right, so Liberia Vision of Pan-Africanism towards nationhood. So this is actually your craft writing where one day you just text me a bunch of this great information and I just spent time reading through it. And I was like, let me just put this together in a document because this is kind of like what you do as a person where you craft these incredible writings and you put them in magazines and you can even talk about your editorial skills of this writing unique information and then getting them published
Oh
about
yes,
the area.
I'm also a contributing writer for the International Focus magazine. Now, the International Focus magazine has circulation in Atlanta in the U.S. and Houston in the U.S. and also Liberia. So that's three international markets the magazine has circulation in. And we also have an online presence. I think for Liberia so far, the publication has always been in the U.S. for a very long time now, but so far it has only had three issues published in the Liberia market. We are now on our third issue of the International Focus magazine in Liberia, and the focus of the magazine is business, culture, and tourism. So you will get a lot of information about the business, the culture, and the tourism industry of Liberia from this particular publication. It's called the International Focus Magazine. And it's good to note that they have opened their offices here in Monrovia in Syncor. In fact, they are right on the ground floor of the Boulevard Palace Hotel where the conference will be hosted.
And this is a magazine that you're talking about right here.
Yes, this is it. This is the new edition. This is the latest issue of the magazine that was recently published. And this version, the previous two editions were published within the United States, and then the copies were brought to Liberia. But this one we are looking at on the screen was actually published here in Liberia for the first time.
So there it is, family. And if you need to get access to this, you can always link us and we can connect you. And then let me know which other ways it's distributed. I guess if someone needs to order a copy or need to get a digital copy, how would they find out more about the magazine?
Yeah, I will work on getting the digital copy to you via WhatsApp, and I will
Yeah.
try to see if I can get
Oh,
all three all three copies.
this is the digital copy I have right here on the screen.
Oh, that's what you have. Okay, then you already, but do you have the previous two?
No, I don't have the previous two. So this is
Okay, I will find the previous two. I will get a hold of the previous two and I will send them to you as well. So you can have all three.
us scrolling through the magazine so you can see what our brother's talking about.
It's good to follow the journey from the beginning.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And as we talk about Boulevard Palace, this is a nice piece on the Boulevard Palace. As you can see, this is an upscale
Yeah.
location, upscale hotel in an incredible district. So when I'm telling you, family, we put together an incredible Liberia itinerary to offer you the best and open you to a world of the future. Uh, so we definitely want to get people ready for the future. So family, that's what we're sharing. So what I'm gonna do is click back on that piece that you wrote and we can talk more about that piece and then we just work on closing out and then looking forward to anyone that needs to get in touch with us to connect with us. So I can, since my screen is bigger and I can read this, I can just read through it and we just scroll down. It ended up being something that was a few pages, actually 3 pages.
Yes.
So let me get up some of the words.
Yes. So anyway,
I can read it off. Liberia should be the most strategic maritime hub of the continent, similar to Singapore as the gateway capital of the Intercontinental Pan African Community, a land which constitute ascribe rights of land ownership and citizenship exclusively to people of African descent. So let me know if you want to elaborate on that.
yeah. So we have a constitution which ascribes rights, exclusive rights to land ownership and citizenship precisely only to people of African descent. this is the first country in the world where exclusive rights to citizenship and land ownership were exclusively reserved for people of African descent, irrespective of your place of birth. So where there's a will to become a Liberian citizen, there is a way, as long as you are African. You don't have to worry about how to fit in the society when you come to Liberia. By your natural birth, you have all those rights afforded you already by the Constitution of Liberia. All you have to do is gather the courage to repatriate to Liberia and come on the ground and apply for your citizenship and purchase your land through honorable purchase. Okay, once you can afford, you can purchase and you can become a landowner in Liberia. And the land here is reasonably affordable, to be honest with you, as compared to other comparable locations and countries across Africa and the world for that matter. Land in Liberia is definitely affordable for anybody that has had a goal to own land and has been preparing for that with through savings and what have you. You should not have a problem acquiring land in Liberia. And the process has also been streamlined and is managed by the Land Authority of Liberia, the Liberia Land Authority, the LLA. So it's a very smooth process. It can take anywhere between 1 week to 2 weeks to become a landowner in Liberia, depending on the availability of the type of land that you want and the price of it and your affordability, whether you can afford it or not. But the process itself is no more than 2 weeks.
Well, perfect, brother. And you have been building an energy to be able to be a person that represent anyone that wants to be a landowner in Liberia. Uh, can you share some more of your experience and the things that you offer as a consultant and someone who have expertise on?
Oh yes, so far I've had several even Liberians in the diaspora acquire their land through my services. Um, they live in America. They are previously from Liberia, but they live in America now, and they needed to buy their land. And this was made possible through the agency that we have set up here. And they were not forced to come to Liberia in order to make a purchase. Our agency represents them, and we go through the process of land selection, and we share that information with our partners. And if they are interested and make a selection on a particular land, then it is our responsibility to procure that land for them. And it is their responsibility to transfer the funds necessary to procure such land. And the process has been smooth. We have several testimonials. If possible, hopefully we will be able to get 1 or 2 of these individuals to come on the show to share their experience of how they purchased land in Liberia without being in Liberia themselves. Others also did come because they were curious. They wanted to be on the ground before their purchases were made. But the initial selection of the land and everything was done in consultation with our agency. And all they had to do was just come on the ground and make the payment in person. And then the process, picked up, and they were given their land deed, probated and everything in their name to have an everlasting heritage. Because once you buy the land, you own the land. It's not like renting or leasing a property. You actually own the land in your name, and it can be passed on to your heirs and your inheritors after you.
Yes, my brother, I appreciate the great breakdown. You can share some contact details because we do want anyone that has interest in
Pardon?
if you can share any kind of details to connect with you for those who are watching and are open.
Oh, yes.
Definitely wanted to reach out to you. I can always forward the information to you, but if you just want to share your
Yeah,
details.
if you can just share my WhatsApp number is the quickest way to reach me because I respond to my WhatsApp queries in real time. The WhatsApp line is open 24/7, unlike the email and what have you that gets checked periodically. But with the WhatsApp business line, that is open 24/7. I can be contacted at any given time, and I will respond, no matter the time of the day or the night, because we are serious about Liberia being the Pan-African capital of the world. Such a capital must not sleep. So we are open 24/7 to responding to queries. The WhatsApp business number you have on the is also the direct number to reach or contact the Tourism Association of Liberia.
Yes, so family, we're looking forward to you to reach out and get you connected with our good brother. And if you're open to sharing your number publicly, you can definitely share it. You know, I'm a man that's open to many things. And if you just want to share any kind of emails or any other details, you're more than welcome to share it, because I'm letting people know that we are available and open to communicate. And just like yourself, I check my WhatsApp and check, emails and everything. And we just make sure that we're available to make this make this connection work and grow, because right now Africa is really on the rise, and it's one of our best opportunities for, no matter where you are as a black person, for us to build a focus on the African continent. And that's why
And Bomani,
go ahead.
let's just give them an idea.
All right.
It is not uniform across the board. Prices differ from individual land space to individual land space. However, we can cite an example. For example, airport residential land is currently available. It's currently available at a price of about $5,000 per lot. And even that is also negotiable if you are buying a larger portion of land. Say if you are buying 1 acre or more, you will pay less than $5,000 for a lot. You might get it for as low as $3,500 per lot if you are buying more than 1 acre. And it is 4 lots that make 1 acre. So if you're buying, for example, 1 acre, your price will drop from $5,000 per lot to $3,500 per lot. And that will be 4 lots to make 1 acre. So your overall price for 1 acre would be $14,000, will give you 1 acre of land at a strategic airport residential area right next door to the Roberts International Airport in Monrovia, Liberia.
There you go, family. Our good brother is getting you connected on a special part of Liberia that's going to grow. So definitely reach out, family, and we'll be on standby. And as we move forward, uh, let's go to the next set of breakdown that you have. A nation founded by Pan-African repatriate nationals from the U.S., thus commonly referred to as African Americans, or even more wrongfully as freed slave, and some Caribbean countries, including Barbados and Haiti. Uh, Liberia is the oldest and first independent non-colonized country in Africa, now 178 years in anniversary. The national legacy, heritage, and vision of Liberia is directly embedded in the globalized vision of Intercontinental Constituency of Pan African. So that is a whole lot right there. And people, and these are things that, because the history of Liberia is not taught in the schools of America. Maybe in some places, but most of us have learned about Liberia through other means.
It is the greatest modern African story. It is the greatest modern African story originating from the 1800s. Okay. This is, like I said, this is all happening during the era of the transatlantic slave trade, slavery itself abroad, colonialism on the continent of Africa, apartheid in South Africa. And in spite of all these obstacles against the African people on the planet, Liberia was founded, okay, to give us back our civil liberties and our human rights. In true testament, Liberia is a world human rights heritage nation. because at a time specifically the African group of people were being deprived of their basic human rights, Liberia was founded to reverse this vice. Okay, now that is a great story, and that would not have been possible without the providence of God. That's why we say Liberia is one of the only countries on earth with a heritage and a legacy that is comparable to that of Israel, where God took a people out of bondage in Egypt and gave them their own nationhood. So it has happened for the African. In this case, the location chosen has been the territory of the Republic of Liberia. But the nationhood itself transcends this territory and is constituted by the global African constituency. Our constitution did not limit our identity to the word Liberian. Instead, it emphasized the word African. Liberia was founded for and by people of African descent. The African descent is more than just the 5 million population of Liberia. There's a global constituency of over 440 million people in the diaspora alone, not to mention the other millions of people on the African continent itself. And not only does this legacy and heritage and vision stop with the Constitution, but it goes beyond and is reflected in our administration after the nation was founded. By the time a president like William V.S. Tubman became president, there was active campaigns across Africa for the independence struggle in other African countries, and Liberia was a major contributor. So indeed, the slogan or the motto at the University of Liberia that says Lux and Tenebris is also very true. Light in the darkness is actually the legacy of Liberia. As the African continent was at the time referred to as the dark continent, Liberia, that beacon of hope, became the light on the African continent. And it was also and is still today the light of the global African constituency as a whole, in spite of our shortcomings and our setbacks and our obstacles that we go through in Liberia as a nation.
Excellent, brother. Excellent, man. I appreciate you dropping all this knowledge, and we're here to share with you, family, valuable information from Liberia past, present, and the future. So let's continue moving forward on this incredible piece that our brother wrote, which we can always share with you, since I put it together in a PDF form. In as much as we speak of global constituency and geopolitical territory of Pan-African states, such constituency must include all African and Caribbean states and to include all African satellite communities in the U.S., our Afro-European and Afro-Asian communities, Pan-African communities in South America, and etc. The Republic of Liberia by
By constitutional vision.
constitutional vision. Appreciate it, brother. Uh, and it's one of those things with breaking down ththese words. So me, I'll repeat: the Republic of Liberia by constitutional vision, legacy, and heritage is the Pan-African capital of the world. Liberia, beyond its constitution, remains the primary contributing agent to establishment of the OAU and AU and the African Development Bank. Liberia remains a founding member state of UN. The Republic of Liberia is indeed lux in tenebris of the African
Lux and Tenebris.
lux. Repeat that.
The Lux and Tenebris.
Lux in tenebris of the African continent, the leading contributor to the struggle against colonialism and apartheid of the African continent. Our brother is just a great writer, so appreciate the breakdown, brother. If you wanted to give us a summary of this incredible writing that you just laid out. There we go. We're getting to the next page. But yes, brother, the things that I just broke down, primarily talking about the UN. As a matter of fact, I'll scroll back up.
Yes, because Liberia was a founding member of the United Nations. There are European countries that were not founding members of the United Nations. They did not perceive the vision. It was later on that they joined. But Liberia was a part of the vision crafting from the very beginning. Liberia was there as that beacon of hope, as that light. Liberia shared the vision of the United Nations.
All right, perfect. And also add in the OAU and the AU, and then explain the difference and the connection.
was Liberia was practically the administrators, the technocrats, the engineers behind the formation of the Organization for African Unity, which has now become the African Union. So the OAU was practically founded by the Liberian government. And we say this because, in truth, the charter documents that were drafted for the formation of the OAU were drafted here in Liberia by the Liberian administration under William V.S. Tubman in 1959, when Tubman, Sekou Toure, and Kwame Nkrumah met in Liberia in July of 1959. In Saniquile, a place up in Nimba County, is where they met to discuss the possibility of the formation of the OAU. In the subsequent year, in 1960, the Liberian delegation already had crafted the documents for the formation of this organization, and they took this work to the meeting of heads of states in Addis Ababa, where Haile Selassie was. A very beautiful gathering. William V.S. Tubman was accustomed to travel by sea and land because he was acrophobic and would not travel by air. So his travel was delayed, but nonetheless, as he arrived at the port of Addis Ababa, as the story goes, Haile Selassie left all the other heads of states at the palace and told them he had to go and meet with William V.S. Tubman at the port of Addis Ababa, because William V.S. Tubman was considered the doyen of Africa. And when he went and brought his compatriot and brother to the meeting, the Liberia delegation presented them with the charter documents for the formation of the OAU. It would amaze you to discover that this document, once presented, was unanimously accepted and adopted without any objections and without any edits or alterations. It was accepted as is. And that is why today the OAU exists. And not only the OAU, but the African Development Bank as well, is a testament to the greatness of the contribution of the Republic of Liberia to the advancement of humanity.
There you go, family. And again, a lot of us does not know the breakdown of this history, and that's why we're here with a true scholar on Liberia and the history of the formation and the legacy and foundation that Liberia built for the known Black world. So yes, but I will continue and scroll on. Then Liberia, while on its way to industrialization, was grossly sabotaged. Over 250,000 Liberian citizens and some foreign friends lost their lives, and national infrastructure was damaged beyond repair. Yet the existing legacy, heritage, and vision remains the guide for Liberia's future development and prosperity. Our general population and market share by virtue of Constitution is much greater than 5 million people. We are, in fact, the intercontinental constituency of the global Pan African community. Brother, I just love your writing, man. We got to get you to, we got to do some good work. But if you can break down that history and break down, just give us an overview of these last three flow of what you're talking about.
Yes, under the administration or during the administration of William Richard Talbot, who came after William V.S. Tubman, there were plans for Liberia's industrialization. The Free Zone Industrial Authority was in establishment. There were plans for several investments. But all of these plans were thwarted due to the assassination of William Richard Talbot and the summary execution of many of his supporters who were active agents of government employment. Now, this left a bitter mark on Liberia that is still going through a process of a struggle to overcome. The nation is still struggling to overcome this reality, this consequence, okay? But all the same, the existing legacy, the heritage and the vision as embedded in our Constitution remains the guiding principle for the future development and prosperity of Liberia. As long as we do not take for granted the heritage, the legacy, and the vision of the ancestral experience in building the nation, we will not fail, because the vision was given by God's providence. It was not possible without God. The ancestors that came and founded the nation in partnership with their indigenous compatriots were Christian men and women, and they believe in the providence of God. It is also highlighted, this fact, in even the naming of some of the places that these people settled. For example, where the ship came through Stockton Creek across the Meshuerado River and landed on Providence Island. The island was named Providence in honor of God, because they understood that only God's providence could have brought them across the Atlantic safely and to give them a homeland in their own homeland, Africa. So that is what happened. And then furthermore, can you just go up a little, back a little? Let me see where we were. Okay, so that's what happened. When Talbot was assassinated and many of his supporters executed, not too long after that, the 1990 war broke out, and 250,000 Liberians lost their lives, and several other foreigners also lost their lives, and infrastructure was damaged badly. Nonetheless, because of the greatness and the magnitude of our heritage and our legacy and the vision of our global constituency, on behalf of our global constituency, there is still hope for Liberia. If Liberia's children around the world will rally to her call, will remember that great victory story for the African, that great glory for Africans globally, and rally around and support Liberia. For example, investments should be pouring into Liberia. Fortune 500 companies should all set up their headquarters in Liberia as the Pan-African capital of the world. Liberia should be the logistics hub of Africa, the Marvel, the Singapore of Africa. We have coastline. Our maritime ports should be upgraded. We have about almost 5 different ports, from one in Maryland, another in Sino, another in Grand Bassa, another in Montserrado, and another in Grand Cape Mau County. So it's very easy for Liberia to serve the sub-region primarily, but also the larger African continent as a logistics and trade hub, because of our proximity also to the continent of South America. It makes us a very strategic coastline.
There you go, family. That is it, family. And that's the vision that we're talking about of Pan-Africanism towards nationhood. And we're talking about the future, because we've all been through our struggles as different Black nations, or a nation of Black people. And we have to look to just move forward stronger together. And we have had our shortcomings in the past here and there. And it should only make us stronger. And so that's what we are talking about.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And because our natural assets reflects the neighborhood of being a paradise, work in Liberia is therapeutic. Once you are connected to the reality of Liberia's heritage, Liberia's legacy, Liberia's vision, and you know of Liberia's natural assets in our ecotourism attractions and possessions, you work in Liberia becomes therapeutic. You have over 8 waterfalls to just go to for nature retreats. You have several mountains and several large rivers. You have several islands all over the place. Some are even up for sale for those who may be interested in buying an island and turning it into a resort. That option is also available. You have to do the due diligence of searching, selecting, and then securing this island or this landed property for your purposes. So Liberia is a land of untapped resources and rich cultural heritage and the most dynamic and victorious legacy in Africa.
There you go, brother. People just don't understand how blessed and beautiful this country is. Uh, and that's what we're here to showcase when we take you to the country itself. And we're gonna work on just taking you around more and more parts of the country and showcasing just its beautiful view.
And while we're talking about the natural assets, Liberia is such a great place for agritourism, for agricultural tourism. Okay. The land is so fertile. We have a joke here, a popular saying here that you can just throw a seed out of your window, like Jack in the Beanstalk, and it will grow. Because the soil is so fertile, very rich soil. We can grow just about anything here.
That's it, family. It's a blessed land, and it's up to us to work together to continue the vision, because I'm always telling people that I appreciate everything our ancestors did for us, and we have to cherish it. And things are not done in one generation or one time. So
No, you are
we have the
correct.
benefit of learning about the past to where we can create an incredible future. And moving forward, let's get into some more of this incredible piece that you put together. Liberia, by its founding vision, has the largest market share on the continent of Africa. In fact, Liberia is a world human rights heritage nation. When you look at the fact that when Liberia was founded, Africans were still being stripped of basic human rights through the inhumane machinery of transatlantic slave trade, slavery itself abroad, and colonization or colonialism and apartheid of the continent of Africa. Notwithstanding the fact that USA did not recognize the independence of Liberia, the Republic of Liberia still prevailed to provide basic human right protection for all people of African descent. And I would even just continue some more because this is relevant. It is no coincidence that Liberia is a founding member of the UN. Indeed, Liberia is a world human rights heritage nation, restoring basic human rights and dignity to a whole global race. Now, that is a whole lot said and very important because, we have to still look at the fact that when Liberia was an independent republic, the rest of the known black world, with the exception of Haiti, was under mass colonization and imperialism.
Correct.
So if you want to add to your breakdown, because I'm sure there's a point where you literally, when you were typing this, something was going to your mind to just remind people and educate people about something that they didn't know.
Oh yes, oh yes. It is very important, Bomani, because the progress of the African, every time we discuss it, we fail to realize that this progress was actually in motion through the founding of Liberia. But then when Liberia was sabotaged, this progress was disrupted. And until we face this reality, we will not be able to regain the momentum and continue the progress.
So do you want to elaborate on the human rights part of it and or anything
Yes, Liberia represents the reality where, for example, where in America, for example, the Constitution excluded African people from participation and from human rights protection and civil liberties, to the extent that at some point in time, by constitution, Africans were not even considered as human beings in America. And they were just farm implements. They were tools for labor. Now, when the US amended their constitution to adopt a policy that allowed Africans to be counted in political affairs or considered in political affairs, they were not considered, or we were not considered for our humanity still. Instead, we were considered for political reasons, where it was dictated that I believe the African individual became worthy of only about 3/5 of a human being, so that the slave masters could count their slaves during electoral processes for vote. Now, you don't think I'm a human being enough to have human rights, but because you own me, you want to count me in your politics as a tool that you use for political gain, but without any franchise. That is so far away from Liberia's constitution, which basically gave all exclusive rights, all human rights, all civil rights, all dignity, all human dignity was restored to the African by the Liberian Constitution. That is the difference between the US Constitution and the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. The Constitution of the Republic of Liberia should be celebrated by every African constituency, whether in the Caribbean or on the continent of Africa itself, for this great achievement.
There you go, family. So as we see, Liberia has played a great, important part in the history of Black people on a global scale. And we scroll up, brother. Your writing is beautiful. I'm just still impressed by this incredible piece. It is no coincidence the Republic of Liberia was founded by the providence of God, thus making the Republic of Liberia the only country with a heritage comparable to that of Israel, where God took a whole family of people out of bondage and give them their own sovereignty. Liberia was even more honored by the reward of acquiring its geopolitical territory through honorable purchase rather than bloodshed. In this respect,
yes, Liberia is one of the most civilized nations on earth. The sabotage of the war was to distort from the greatness of our true story. Now, there was no civil war fought for the founding of Liberia. Rather, it was the story of the unity of people of African descent, where African Americans who returned and indigenous Africans got together and agreed on the share of land or the sharing of land through honorable purchases. That's how the territory of the Republic of Liberia was acquired. It was not acquired by bloodshed. That is a very civilized nation.
I love it, brother. I love it. So, family, we're dropping important, incredible history and connection of Liberia that you have never heard, and we have to get more of this information out. So that's why we've been doing these incredible videos, talking about Liberia and showcasing details. The last one we did was our good brother Khaled Book, uh, The Journey to the Promised Land. And that's really it, family. To sum it up, the journey to the promised land, because we don't have nothing in history with this incredible foundation. And we're here to talk about how we're going to build up on it. So as we continue, in the respect, the Republic of Liberia is credited with being established by, as, and for the civilization of God and his kingdom. Every major international Pan-African development conference, seminar, and workshop should be hosted in the Republic of Liberia. The infrastructure program for Liberia should develop within real time to accommodate such a global need. The broader modern African civilization should be improved through the lens of the Republic of Liberia to optimize continental or as well as global peace, security, prosperity. All right, so can you elaborate on that breakdown?
Now, with the international politics and the interplay of geopolitical affairs, Liberia, with its founding being um, basically one that is rooted deeply in human rights and civil liberties, okay, for all people of African descent. It's one that solved a problem that the United Nations could not even solve because the Africans were deprived for a very, very long time, hundreds and hundreds of centuries. Now, yeah, it is, Liberia comes about and restores this human right value and dignity to the race of the African people. This supports directly the to negate racial tensions in the world. Okay. For example, even in the US, the founding of Liberia was a blessing to the United States of America because racial tensions in America being so high, free African Americans who decided to return basically took away the burden of a disenchanted people in America off the shoulders of the American government. And they themselves returned to Liberia and founded Liberia and gave themselves human rights and dignity and civil liberties back. And so they were no longer a burden on the government of the United States of America. So it's a blessing to America that the Republic of Liberia was founded for the global African community to have their own sovereignty and have their own governance and have human rights, basic human rights. That is, I think the emphasis should be on the human rights and civil liberties legacy. Because without Liberia, African people around the world did not have human rights, did not have civil liberties, and there was no human dignity.
There you go, family. Our brother breaking down some incredible breakdown that we should all just get behind. And let me just read this last two part, and then we move on to the final page. Established at a time when racial tensions were deteriorating globally, Liberia was founded on the foundation of global human rights, peace, security, and prosperity. Liberia should be a hub for the headquarters of major Afro Fortune 500 companies on the continent of Africa. The nation state of the Republic of Liberia is blessed with 15 counties and rich in tourism and eco-friendly biodiversity minerals deposit for a most lucrative extractive industry and a blessed national history, heritage, legacy, vision, and culture. Now let's talk about the Fortune 500 part of it and then continue to this part because that is a great that's a great vision. I mean, and I feel that, I mean, especially with the foundation of Liberia.
Oh yes. If only the global African will look at Liberia's true contribution, or will look at Liberia through the lens or in the context of its contribution to the advancement of humanity, then it would become more obvious that Liberia is deserving of so much more. Now, Liberia hasn't given back so much. It is only past time, it's overdue that the global African community began to give back to Liberia. Liberia did not hesitate when the continent of Africa was struggling for independence. Liberia stepped in and provided support. Many of the freedom struggle leaders actually traveled through Liberia. Some of them studied in Liberia. Many of them traveled on Liberian travel documents and passports to make mobility easier for them in view of them moving and circumventing the colonial masters program. So Liberia played a very major role. Most of this role was covert, so it was not obvious to the news media and the eyes of the general public, but it doesn't mean that this contribution never occurred. This contribution is a part of our reality and a part of our legacy and a part of our heritage. Liberia did all that Liberia could to make sure that the majority of the African continent gained independence at the time that they did. And also, not to mention the support for the African community in South Africa that was struggling with apartheid. Liberia was against apartheid. That was Liberia's official position. And Liberia looked forward to the liberation of the people of South Africa. And that also eventually happened. So we must say that these goals that Liberia has had for the African continent, for the prevalence of human rights and dignity and civil liberties, proves that Liberia is the Pan-African capital of the world. Liberia is indeed Big Brother Africa, the oldest republic in Africa, and the only non-colonized nation in Africa.
Yes, brother, there you go, man. The breakdown continues, family. So here we talk about some visionary things. The best African movies and music based on true stories are yet to come out of
Are
Liberia.
yet to come out. Oh my God.
Yeah, because all the history that you talk about, it's not like there's just a whole bunch of movies that's been made about it, but this is
No,
what we have to
no.
do as a people, because that's a part of educating a nation of people, is to
Oh
move
yes,
music.
everybody cannot go into the classroom. Culture, media, educational tools play a major role.
Right, home to the world's first 10 African American president before Barack Obama.
Oh yes, African Americans have always longed or had always longed for a black president, and all this longing all along had no real basis because African Americans already had 10 presidents in Africa in the Republic of Liberia, beginning with Joseph Jenkins Roberts. There were 10 African American presidents before Barack Obama.
There you go, family. So if you didn't know, now you know, and you can, work on your research. And the goal is to
The
keep up.
only difference is that they were not the president of America, they were the president of the Republic of Liberia. But that does not take away the fact that these African Americans became president in their lifetime and built a very victorious nation. The nation that stands for human rights and dignity for all African people born on the face of earth in every generation.
Excellent, excellent. Liberia is indeed the country with the richest Pan-African heritage, from our constitution to our intercontinental constituency. Liberia's greatest shortcoming is a consequence of its 14-year civil war sabotage. Those same 14 years of civil war represent 14 years of globalization with little or no strategic profitable involvement from Liberia. The full weight of Liberia's story, told in chronological order, has not been brought to bear upon the global intercontinental community. Liberia is indeed the sleeping giant of the intercontinental constituency of Pan Africa. Yes, brother. So this, if you want to work on the closeout of your last set of statements, very important for people to notice and be clear on it.
I just want to say that if you're out there and you are a champion and a believer in human rights and dignity and civil liberties for all people, then Liberia should be your preferred country. If you are specifically an African, Liberia should be your preferred country of pilgrimage. You should, if you have not been born in Liberia, you should, as an African, at least once in your lifetime, be able to make the journey to Liberia, because Liberia is a world human rights heritage nation. Liberia is the global Pan-African community of the world. That's what Liberia represents. And our greatest heritage, our greatest legacy, and our greatest vision is one of the human rights value and civil liberties and human dignity. That is what Liberia truly stands for. No matter what you hear about Liberia or see on the media, whether it's the war, it's the disease, or it's the poverty, do not forget the great legacy, the great history, the great heritage, and the great vision of the ancestors. Thank you.
Yes, my brother. And as we're moving forward, let's get back to the flyer. And because right now we're talking about the vision of the future. So the vision of the future deals with us making our move to the country, whether you travel with us or travel other groups, or you travel to Liberia by yourself, or you connect with other people. That's what we are promoting and showcasing for us to keep on building on this rich heritage. So the main question I have for you is why Liberia, and why it's so important for more of us to make this journey and connect to Liberia.
Because Liberia, as the Pan African capital of the world, when you are able to develop your capital, the model of improvements in your capital becomes the standard model for all of your other smaller cities and towns and villages. So the prioritization of the Republic of Liberia and its development becomes a key issue for all of the African continent. The success of Liberia in the initial stage has proven to have had a lasting effect on the rest of the continent of Africa. Today, colonialism is no more. Today, apartheid is no more. Those things are as a direct result of the founding of Liberia. So that tells me if we then continue to improve Liberia and build Liberia as the Pan-African capital of the world, this will have a similar effect on the rest of the continent of Liberia and also on our Afro-Caribbean regions. Because we are one global constituency. The African people are one unit on the face of the earth.
Yes, my good brother. I really appreciate your time on educating us and sharing with us that incredible vision as what we talk about Liberia, a vision for Pan-Africanism and nationhood. And that is serious, family. As we you see the colors, the energy, and we're going to keep on growing strong and keep continuing. So, brother, really appreciate your time. And let me know if you have any final statements or anything else you want to say before we close out. You have said more than enough and a mouthful, but if you just want to share any last thoughts or anything else.
It is important for Africans in the diaspora to reconnect with Africa, not as tourists, but as sojourners seeking their homecoming. And home being home, it is important for you to own land in your home and be a landlord in your own home. So I would encourage individuals coming on tour, if not considering repatriation, at least consider expanding your opportunity curve by making sure you purchase land in Liberia and become a vibrant part of the Liberian society. You can do exploits. With God on your side, you can do great exploits. So come to Liberia, bearing in mind that you are returning home. You are not going on tour. You can go on tour to Singapore, but when you are coming to Liberia, bear in mind that you are coming home. Come with the mindset that you are coming home, that you belong, that the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia was drafted for you specifically. That's why the Constitution says that it is only people of African descent that can own land in Liberia and become citizens in Liberia. So Liberia was constituted for you. So when you're coming home, come home with that mindset that you are coming home to a country that was constituted for you and by you.
Yes, family. So our good brother, Ras Newon Sei Dunbar, appreciate your time. And family, the journey continues. And please reach out to us. You can message us in the video. You can reach us directly. I shared our flyer details with phone numbers, email address. and we're always on standby to hear from you. So definitely, brother, we're going to keep on continuing this journey, and we're going to work to get more of our great brothers and sisters on the African continent in the beautiful country of Liberia to share other aspects of great things going on in Liberia. So family, the journey continues.